What's up, Vol fans?
Is the damn thing recording now?
The dang thing is recording.
What's going on, boys and girls?
Catfish here, bringing it to you live with this ugly fella, BVD. And we're bringing it to you live from the Volunteer Roadshow Studios in Fort Worth, Texas. Where things are bigger. Almost everything is bigger in Texas.
Almost everything.
And me and BVD was riding down the road, and we've been thinking about the rules changes that the NCAA has made for college football here this year with the new transfer rule and the red shirt rule. And I've always thought for the longest time the NCAA hasn't been equitable compared to the other sports or even to the players. What do you think about these two rule changes with the transfer and red shirt rules?
I like them. You know, the NCAA they make a lot of changes every year in college football with these two, one of which we've talked about in a previous video, but we'll glance over it here. But I love the new red shirt change that they're doing. And it's going to mean, well, it's not going to help us for some boneheaded crap that Butch Jones has done that we'll talk about, you know, later, but it's going to help. It's going to help the players. It's going to help the coaches. You know, it's going to help the whole team, of course, and it's just going to be better all the way around.
And to bring y'all up to speed, here's basically how I understand it. They're going to allow a player to play up to 4 games in a year and still be able to keep their red shirt. And we think about the incidents you're bringing up. Will McBride, he was basically brought in for a couple of plays and ruined his red shirt year. And what was it, against Alabama or Missouri?
Missouri, I guess.
I remember when it happened, it was like, that was boneheaded.
Everybody was, they talked about this actually, and I remember like on the Tony Basilio show specifically, they were talking about how someone had mentioned Butch Jones would blow a red shirt if Garantano's helmet or something came off and he had to come out for a play. And damn, if it wasn't for a helmet coming off, he got hurt in a game and had to come out for a few plays. But sure enough, he put McBride in, and I guess McBride's parents were pissed off about it. And of course, our fan base was a little bit livid about it. But, you know, in hindsight, it just proved to be one of many bonehead, knucklehead moves by that Roll Tide
Butch Jones. I tell you, I really like these two new rules changes. I've always felt that, hey, a coach can go wherever he wants. By God, a player should be able to do the same thing. Now, if it's somebody wanting to transfer from us, you know, we're not above being hypocritical, are we?
Of course not.
So
we're Tennessee fans. It's our right. It's our God-given birthright.
But when it's, you know, when we're on the receiving end of it, we think it's unfair. But, you know, that goes into other things that I've always thought about, you know, giving these kids a stipend and all the money that the universities make off of these players. And
there's a can of worms.
That is a can of worms. And I go back and forth on that, thinking, you know, you can't even go work at McDonald's and be on scholarship. So we thought we'd get on here and see what y'all think. Put in the comments what y'all think about this red shirt rule, about them allowing you to play up to 4 games without losing a red shirt. Me and BVD's in agreement.
What do you foresee being the most beneficial aspect of this particular rules change, given what you've seen at Tennessee over the last few years? What do you think will benefit us most about this?
I think it's going to give us depth behind injuries and give us depth to get somebody a chance to play and being able to, I think the maturation of a player being able to play 4 games in a season.
Did you really just say maturation?
Yeah, I did. That's
Smack yourself.
I'm a group of individuals.
God.
But anyway, I think it'll help the players with their maturation. That's the only word I know.
Growth.
Their growth and development. But that's 2 words.
It's okay.
But anyway, I think there's been times when we've been really thin on the depth chart where it could help somebody, help us on the depth chart. That's what I see is the injury aspect and helping us develop a player.
On the depth chart. We really need that. It's essentially what he's saying is it will give coaches 4 opportunities basically to stick somebody in there that normally they wouldn't put in a game situation and see if they can handle it.
See if they got the goods.
For lack of a better way to put it. I don't know. I don't think that's what the NCAA intended when they made this rule change, but that's what's going to happen, especially for teams like Tennessee that are going to struggle for quality starters this year.
Could you imagine last year when we were playing musical chairs on the offensive line? If we'd had this rule, we'd had 5 or 6 more players on that offensive line.
The only problem with that, though, is we just didn't have the bodies last year. What is it? The last 2 years, we've had not more injuries per se, but we've had more starts lost due to injury than
read that.
Than any other college.
Number 1 in the country. Yeah. We're number 1 at something.
I think it's my fault because the Cardinals have been the same way. And I'm not even going to say what I was thinking right there. I don't want to jinx anybody or any team, so just go ahead.
That's all I've got. I'm interested to see what y'all think about this rule, and I think it's great. And is there any other rule changes that you think we ought to have? Because I don't think it's fair. You got a basketball player that can declare, and as long as he doesn't hire an agent, he can come back. You got the baseball player that's got different rules. Heck, they could even play and sign a multi-million-dollar contract. But football, why is football different?
Yeah, why are we as college football fans forced to watch our kids go through such stringent regulations, if you will? It's almost like the truck driving industry. They're strapped with all these rules and regulations. And for some of these kids, we're talking about a life-changing occurrence if they don't stack up with certain rules. I mean, you can dive into what I just said as far and as deep as you want to, but what I'm talking about is basically, what the hell? Why they got to be so mean to our boys?
I don't know.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's like that damn fly that's been in here for the last 3 hours.
We've been trying to kill him for the last 2 days. I tell you something that is fair. I'm drawing some people to win that Tiki Totem, and I'm going to announce 2 more onions now.
That's actually unfair.
No, that's fair, because I'm drawing.
It's unfair to the people that don't win
it. It's unfair to the people that don't win it, but it's fair to the people that do.
Hey, and you people that don't win it, you'll get another chance some other time, because Catfish, man, he likes giving them Tiki Totems away.
I've hit 900 subscribers, and I'm going to have a 900 subscriber video coming up pretty soon. But I'm going to go ahead and announce the 2 winners, Valerie Griner and Georgia Beast. I wonder what team Georgia Beast would want.
They could be dyslexic, and they could have meant to say beats Georgia.
Could have been. So you guys, Valerie and Georgia Beast, email your name and address to volunteerroadshow@gmail.com, and I'll be able to get your SEC Tiki Totem of your choice out to you real soon. So you know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols!
Damn, I kind of look like a trucker with all these black on and these shades sitting in a truck. Go Vols! Screw y'alls, even you truckers.
We're going 15-0. I promise you that.
And if you don't like it, you can go truck yourself.